QUO.com/sports.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs dominated in their season opener, beating the Mavs in Dallas 125-92 behind Go Spurs Go chants at the end of the game. Wemby wowed with 40 points, 15 boards, and 0 turnovers leading the way. They return to action tomorrow in New Orleans against the Pelicans. Well, in the NFL tonight, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we got Chargers and Vikings.
This is
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Appreciate y'all jumping into the show, however you may be doing that, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in listening live at sasportstar.com, or if you happen to be joining us via our YouTube channel. That's right. We stream all of our shows on YouTube. Just go there, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe where you're at. You're able to comment along with the show as it's happening, or feel free to call in the old-fashioned way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. And, man, it was fun watching that Spurs game last night. Wemby dominated. The Spurs looked fantastic, taking what was given to them, not forcing 43s, just the way and efficiency in which they performed last night on the road in Dallas, hearing those Go Spurs Go chants as loud as you did at the end of the game after they've cleared out the arena of all Mavericks fans because of how badly they were beating them. I've never seen or heard anything like that. And it was just incredible to think that many Spurs fans were at that game and made the trip up to Dallas for this, knowing it's Cooper Flagg's first game for the Dallas Mavericks, and those tickets couldn't have been easy to come by. So incredible way to start the season for the San Antonio Spurs, which automatically starts to make you reevaluate what you think of this team or thought of this team coming into the season, or to confirm what you thought. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, Rob and AJ were talking about how impressive of a win that was.
I did want to get into a little bit more on this Spurs game. And again, not to throw water on it, it is one game, but I think when you throw the water on it by saying it is one game, you can also say, it could get way better than this.
You could say it's one game. It's actually 5 games. They kicked ass since they put on a uniform. I mean, nobody's come close since they put on their uniform.
But the other thing is, I mean, a lot of these teams aren't playing. They're not playing the preseason.
I'm being facetious. But but this team has yet to taste defeat if they put on a uniform. We're 6 games in now. I guess it's 6. Did they play 4 or 5? I don't know. But
I think they were 4-0.
So they're 5-0 now, or 1-0 in the regular season. They haven't tasted defeat, and more importantly, everything they wanted to do has worked. Not a lot of failures going on. And it could have easily been the same thing that we saw from Dallas. They didn't know if Cooper Flagg playing this kind of hybrid point guard, small forward was going to work, and it didn't. They ran it against us for a half of basketball, and the game itself was close, but Cooper was underutilized. And you know what we need to do? We need to open it up. So they moved him over, and they lost. Spurs, everything they've tried has worked. Let Wemby bring it up. Let's run a rookie point guard out there and see how he does. And that's unheard of, man. For the Spurs to have a rookie point guard play the number of minutes that he did last night in game 1, I don't think that probably is a rookie point guard record. I think if we dug down in the history of the San Antonio Spurs, what point guard played their most minutes in game 1? I'm Dylan Harper. If it wasn't a record, probably pretty damn close.
A couple changes to the Spurs in the odds. The Spurs win total before yesterday was 44.5. After one game, it's already up to 45.5. See, so they already said, okay, this team is better than we thought. Their title odds, though, they were 55-1 before last night. Which was they were 60-1 before last night. They are now 45-1.
I don't think they're any closer to a title today than they were yesterday. I would go. I wish I had the 60-1 money. You know what I mean? I wish I was on it yesterday, but this isn't a championship team. Let's not get over our skis here.
The Spurs now have better odds to win the NBA title than the Milwaukee Bucks, the Detroit Pistons, the Indiana Pacers, the Atlanta Hawks, the Boston Celtics, the Memphis Grizzlies. They've moved up the ranks,
yeah,
Bubba.
man, and certainly I get it.
Think about that. The Spurs have better odds to win an NBA title than Giannis.
I that's the benefit of being on national TV while Giannis wasn't. Because if you saw Giannis play last night, you'd be going, "Holy crap!"
Whoa.
So, I'm all for it. This is an exciting day. If you're gonna, I do not believe they're any closer to a championship this year than they were yesterday. This is still the same team that's gonna fight to stay around 500 all year long. We're going to rip off a nice 9-game winning streak, but we're also going to probably have a couple of 4 or 5-game losing streaks because we got a bunch of young kids, and we're still trying to figure some things out as far as there's a lot of players and not a lot of minutes, so we're going to have to balance some things out, and there's a lot of work to be done. But my goodness, what a kickoff! What a perfect beginning for Spurs fans last night.
Do you think less of the Mavericks after last night?
No, I know no. First of all, I think they were kind of caught a little flat-footed, and they were hoping to see something a little bit different. But no, they're flawed right now. If they figure out a point guard, if Kyrie can come back, which is by every account seems like he will sooner than later, they're a good basketball team. I mean, they're a defensive team that just got kind of run past yesterday.
Yeah, I downgraded the Mavericks for sure, but I also did upgrade the Spurs some. Like, what I saw last night, this should be a playoff team. Like, I think that teams like the Thunder and the Nuggets right now are on a different level than where the Spurs are, but at least for this year. But I thought the Spurs is probably a play-in team. Like, they could be fighting for a play-in spot. What I saw last night, if that's sustainable, this is one of the 6 best teams in the West.
Well, they're if 46 is the number where Vegas has landed, that's kind of where I was. I think we're about a 45 to 47 win team, and I'm certainly more optimistic about the upper end of that. But there's still a long way to go, man. We missed a bunch of free throws. They missed a bunch of free throws. We're going to have some big turnover nights. If you think we're going to go through life with Wemby with no turnovers in a game every night,
that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. So there's some benefits coming. I just know this. I'm more excited today than I was yesterday about the future. I mean, the benefits are going to be sooner than I expected, but there's still a long way to go. We still have a very young basketball team with a very young coach, and we're going to have to put ourselves through some situations for the first time.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes the rest of the season, because a lot of people are starting to see what happened last night and alter what they thought about this team, including one Stephen A. Smith.
Let me tell you why I changed my mind after one game, because it wasn't that he dropped 40. I saw him snatch hearts.
Oh, he did.
I saw him snatch hearts. And I want to say, I'm not saying that disrespectfully to Anthony Davis or anybody else. The man's 7'5". You understand what I'm saying? I mean, he's 7'5" and scared. You do find yourself, when you're 6'11", 7 feet tall, you don't usually find yourself looking up at people. That you're looking up at this dude and you're going like this. What the hell am I supposed to do with a cat that dancing between his legs, behind the back, falling away 3-point shots, a handle? He go, reverse dunks. And I mean, he did everything last night. I saw him literally snatch the heart out of Anthony Davis and the Dallas Mavericks. They looked demoralized. And when I saw that, the answer to this question is, I think Wemby can take them to the conference finals. I think he can take them to the conference finals. Let me tell you why. Because Vassell, Castle, and these cats. You see the hearts on these brothers? These some dogs, though. These some dogs. They ain't scared. They coming for it. And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, it's not about the 40 points. It's about the defensive prowess.
And he's right. And I've been one of the hardest on Devin Vassell in recent years, at least through one game. It looks a lot like Keldon last year, knowing the role that is being asked of him, where he is in the pecking order, and fitting into that role this season much better than what we've seen in previous iterations. And that can be very interesting to watch as we move forward. Now, one nitpick that I do have, free throws. Got to make those. Missed too many. At one point, Castle missed 3 straight. So those are things that in closer games, they will come back to bite you. But love everything that I saw from San Antonio last night. And they're not even at full strength. That bike keeps talking about De'Aaron Fox. Kelly Olynyk, when Olynyk gets healthy and gives them even more floor spacing, that is going to be massive. What do you think? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We got Thursday Night Football coming up at the bottom of the hour. Chargers and Vikings, brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Speaking of football, the Dallas Cowboys, will they be active at the deadline? Well, Executive Vice President and CEO Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys joined the Blitz a little bit earlier today. We'll play you a portion of that as we come back here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down!
It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle.
And you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right. Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
JD, do you ever ride a bike?
Beach bike, yeah, I ride the bikes.
So you got a fat tire bike?
Fat tire bike. It's brown over gold, and it's got a handy basket.
Oh, we've got JD's twin brother here.
Yes, DJ Ryan here. Hi, JD. No, and he'll crank it up. He'll crank it up to 14 miles an hour and ride with ferocious intent.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. I appreciate y'all riding along with me as I take you down to the bottom of the hour where we will have Thursday night football for you presented by Flight by Yingling. It will be the Chargers and Vikings. Joe Alt will be playing for the Chargers, so make of that what you will. We had Stephen Jones on earlier today. We'll bring you some of that here in a little bit. But, of course, I always say if you want to call in and have a conversation, feel free to call in. Or maybe it's to eat some crow because I will eat crow with the best of them. When I'm wrong, I will tell you how wrong I was. Floyd wants to come on. Floyd, welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure, my man. What's going on?
Hey, Fletch, thanks, man. I like your show. I like the way that you give the analytical breakdown. But, look, I'm calling in to eat some crow about Dak Prescott. I've talked about him like he stole my lunch money, but he's playing lights out, and I see nothing but upside for him. And he's got a couple of kids now. Maybe that's it. It's like somebody hit a light switch or something with him. But he's playing great, and I think the Cowboys have an opportunity because of his play. And I just want to acknowledge that I've said some bad things about him, and I'm eating, and he's a good quarterback. Thanks, Fletch.
I appreciate it, Floyd. Welcome to call back anytime. I think a lot of people that said things about Dak Prescott and some still stand by him just because they won't admit fault. I always appreciate when people are willing to admit, hey, I was wrong about something. And Dak is proving a lot of people wrong this year with how he is playing. Now, the big overarching thing is, can he do it in the postseason? But the problem is they got to make the postseason for him to shatter that narrative as well. And as currently constructed, is the defense playing well enough, or do they need to make a move to do it? Coming up next, we have Stephen Jones, but we'll go back to the phone lines real quick. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Martin, what's going on, man? Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Hey, how about Wimby?
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's a good player. I mean, but that's a little – it's too early to tell, though, because it was the Mavs, It was the Mavs.
I mean, the Mavs were a playoff team until they lost literally everybody due to injury last year, so –
And that's what I mean. Mavs don't have no big dogs here, but he did good. Just keep building on that team. The Rockets did real good. 20 turnovers don't help, but they held their own. Cut that down. They're going to be a contender.
Sure.
And then he can always pick somebody up. On trade. But back to the hot mess of the Cowboys.
The hot mess. Man, gotcha.
They are. They're not going to draft him, make trades. He just, the Cowboy fans, he just eggs them along, and they buy it every year. Eggs them along, and then buy. I don't know why he doesn't want to win. Oh, you know why? Because he just likes making money. That's all it is.
I hear you, Martin. I hear you. Normally, I'm right there with you. I am. But the difference is, I heard when they talked to him today on the Blitz, there were a couple of different things that they talked about with him when it came to trades. And the first thing they asked him was if they would trade for defensive help at some point.
It has to be the right situation. But, the thing I would say is we're always looking to improve our football team. And, it's not just this year, it's any year. And anytime we can, and as I've always said too, player acquisition, it comes in a lot of different forms, but 365 days a year, and we're always looking to improve our team.
Sure. But then is there urgency to find a deal now?
No, not at all. There's an urgency every year. So I wouldn't say there's more, but there's always urgency. We hadn't been in a championship game in many, many years, and we're always urgent to improve our football team as we head toward the second half of the season, and give ourselves a better chance to one, get in the playoffs, and then two, hopefully have success. So there's no more urgency than any other year, which I would say is always urgent.
And usually they'll waffle and they'll shine a light on things, but you hear stuff like that, and it sounds like they're trying to downplay the fact that, making a trade is a necessary thing. And when they're trying to downplay something, because normally this Cowboys love to lean into certain things, especially Jerry and Steven. And the fact that they are trying to keep their cards close to the vest, the fact that both Rossini and Jordan Schultz have talked about Jerry's making calls. And normally we say Jerry waits for the phone to ring. I feel like he knows they have a Super Bowl caliber offense with the way it's playing this year, with the way Dak Prescott is playing this year, as Floyd alluded to, and the way the running game is working with Javonte Williams, and the despite the injuries, the way the offensive line is playing. And if they could just get that defense into the middle of the pack instead of dead last, like we saw last week, where they played a little bit better, and maybe if they get a linebacker or a safety or both, they can make a push for the postseason, which once you get in the dance with that offense, and if that defense can be good enough, that is a team that could compete in the NFC, because guess what? Nobody in the NFC looks all that unbeatable right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Back to the Spurs real quick before we get you ready for Thursday night football, as we are here on the Extra Innings with Pledger 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. What's going on? Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledge, my man. You wanted to talk some Spurs?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about how I hope everyone that is planning on voting was watching last night. I think people need to understand that what we're seeing and what we're witnessing is a once-in-a-lifetime type of talent and player that 100% needs to stay in the city of San Antonio. I am a believer that if Prop A or Prop B does not go through, that in the coming years that the Spurs will 100% look to relocate or potentially leave and go somewhere like Vegas, Austin, maybe Seattle. And I just think it's important that we are understanding what we're witnessing, because what we're watching is not normal. And it was put on show last night, and it was pretty insane to watch.
Yeah, and look, Wemby is a talent that brings a ton of visibility, and it is the type of basically visibility for the city and marketing that you can't put a number on. You can't quantitate the amount of eyeballs and visibility it brings to this city, and what something like Project Marvel can do for the want to come to downtown and see something like that.
Right. And as soon as I got my car, I turned on the radio and I heard another caller calling, how he was saying, well, it was just the Mavs. I don't think people understand that the Mavs probably have the best defensive front court in the NBA.
And he made them
Davis
look stupid.
And Lively.
I appreciate the phone call. We're up against it. We got Thursday night football coming up. Vikings and Chargers presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation in light beer. Remember, call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life. Until then, we will see you tomorrow night here on Extra Innings with Pledger.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys are in Denver taking on the Broncos at Empower Field at Mile High. Pre-game at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim B.
You like that? How about them Cowboys?